All right, so day 3 for the MLF Pro Circuit. It's the final regular season event of the year, and I was sitting in 46th, 47th place, just slid into the 50 cut, had a big bag, caught a 510 largemouth big bass at day 2. If you want to see that fish, go back, check out day 2's video. Really, it's a cool fish, really jumped me way up there and got me into that cut, and still kept my chances alive for making the Bass Pro Tour. I needed to finish, I thought in the 20th or so place, maybe 25th, but top 20 was what I was going for. So at this point, I had nothing to lose. I needed to jump way up. I knew I needed a 18, probably 19 pound bag, depending on how guys in front of me or behind me jumped up in point standings and whatnot. So what I did was I went out, started on my smallmouth spot, and I was taking that Z-Man trick shot and bad shad, just like this guy right here. And it was on a Hayabusa DSR 132 HD. It's a little number 2. Stick it right in the roof of their mouth every time. It's a really good bait there. I was using a 3/8 when it was windy. It's an Angler Tungsten, just their drop shot weight, really good. I like it. This one actually has a tie on there, so if you want to tie it directly on there, if you're afraid to lose your weights, it's a good alternative. But I went out there and I'm pitching around, looking at my Lowrance active target, and I've seen a bunch of little fish. I caught a couple of them. A couple were baby keepers, not. I was just throwing them back because I knew I needed all 3 pluses. And I finally came up across one. It was 4 1/4, big smallie. I saw him on there. He's glowing, like you knew it was one of the right ones. And I caught that fish, got him in the boat, and then I proceeded to catch up to, I believe at 17 and change it first thing in the morning, probably first 2 hours. So at that point, I was thinking about it, and I was like, man, I gotta pick up my favorite hex. This is a 761 heavy that I caught that 510 largie on the day before. So I made the run, took my Bass Cat Mercury, just fired it up. I was running 75 miles an hour up to this area I was going to fish, and just a bunch of milfoil. Took my jig, just a standard black jig out there, and started pitching around, and I caught some largies in there, and I probably caught 4 of them maybe, and just didn't help me. They weren't big enough. I had a good bag of smallies basically, and I was hoping to get another kicker is what I really needed. If I could have got another 5 pounder, it would have pushed me over that top, got me into the top, probably top 20, which I needed. So we'll go into a little more detail about that in a second, but I'll go over the rest of the details. Seaguar Tatsu, 20-pound line. It's really good, strong, soft. That's the name of the game when you're fishing. A lot of bottom contact baits, so that was helpful. I was using an 8 1-to-1 Soleus XCS reel. This was very important because it made me make as many pitches as I could, and I could reel up a lot of line fast, so this made me more efficient throughout the day. So after I fished my largemouth stuff, that was when I knew I needed to make a change. I was like, I gotta go fish some more of that smallmouth area. Maybe I can get another 4 pounder, maybe 2 4 pounder, something like that. So I went back there, fished around, caught a bunch of little ones. Then it was a big flat. There were some guys around, a decent amount. I don't know what the leader was, or 2 or 3 in the top 10 in that area that were just catching a little bit better than I was. But there was one section that had not been fished much that I saw that day. So I was like, let's just go over there. I went over there. There's less pressured fish were actually suspended up off the bottom a little bit more. They weren't tight to the bottom or in the cabbage grass, like super tight where you couldn't see them with your Lowrance active target. So that's why I was like, oh, well, we got to pick our Jackhammer spinning rod back up and start pitching this trick shot around again. So I start pitching around, and I caught a bunch of them quick. One did help. It was a 3 1/4. That ended up being my small fish of the day. I believe I had just under 18 pounds, if I remember correctly. I think 17, 15 maybe. But either way, it was a good one. I was throwing that Z-Man Mini Max around as well. I don't have that right here with me, but sweet little chatterbait. Check it out. It's a smallmouth killer. I've been throttling them on it this year. And I just put a little 3-inch Z-Man minnows on there. It's a boot tail. Makes a good roll to it, makes it really good action. I really like that bait. So between these 3 baits, that's how I caught a majority of my fish this week. It was everything I could do to keep moving up, and I did move up. I went from, I think, 47th all the way up to 32nd, so I made another 15 points up. And basically I needed a gap between my buddy Jacob Wall and then Austin Cooper and to make that top 10 to make the Bass Pro Tour. And I was right there. I freaking missed it by 7 points, which is 7 places. It's 1, 2, 3 for each point or place you're in. That's how many you need to separate yourself by. So I passed Austin Justin and Jacob Wall at the Champlain tournament, but unfortunately it wasn't by enough. I ended up 7 points behind Jacob, 2 behind Justin, and that put me into 12th place overall. So unfortunately, not going to make the Bass Pro Tour unless a lot of the Bass Pro Tour guys decide to leave or people don't accept their invites. So it's a long shot, but there's still a chance. We'll see what happens. But I had fun, really good year. I'm going to be heading up to the title championship here in a few days. If you guys have any questions, you want to buy a rod or reel, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help you guys pick one out on favoriteusa.com. If you use the code GB20, it'll save you 20% off. So one of these hexes, it's a $400 rod, but if you use the code, it's only $320. So really good deal there. And you're getting the best of the best with that. So if you have any questions, make sure you let me know. Thanks for watching. Tell your friends, please subscribe. We'll see if we can build this and keep it going. So thanks for watching. Have a great day.
48, all right.
that Hayabusa DSR 132 stuck in her nose. That's a good one. Right where you want them. That's a big one though. We need one more of those. Fine, fellas. A solid one, too. Real fat. There we go. There's the limit. I'll work up from here. Mini Max, look at that guy.